it's been interesting because I think so many people, when COVID did hit and they were like, oh, I don't know what to do, or they were, worried about certain stuff. It was just like, well, what are you doing to like constantly like make sure that your business is in a position so that no matter what happens, you're ready for it. And so in an area like this, where hurricanes, have happen every year in some capacity, weather is an effect, like you should be ready for these things. And so I ran a marathon at the beginning of the year. And one of the reasons why is because it absolutely terrified me, right? It was something that I didn't want to do, but I was like, well, what am I going to learn by doing this challenge, right? What am I going to learn by doing something that's not the norm? What am I going to do by not just sitting my tail on a sofa instead of going out and doing this thing and really learning about that process? And I think more people need to more business owners need to be thinking about the process of what can I do to get myself out of this safe zone and to do something that really can be a pioneer, a leader, because I think it helps. It's going to help them emotionally, physically, mentally, whateverly, but it's also going to help their business because they're going to learn a lot of stuff out of it, right? I mean, one of my favorite businesses that I think innovates all the time is a very large business, and it's Panera, right? And so look at the things that they have rolled out over the years. I mean, you see these restaurants that are like, oh, I can't wait for people to come back in. I'm like, well, how many customers could you have if you just gave them a to-go order? But they're not willing to change. And I think that, like, look, ultimately it's your business. You do whatever you want with it. But we have a ton of customers that are probably telling us something, and we need to listen to what they're saying, which is what you've been saying this entire time.
Yeah. And I think if you're a business owner, you have to start looking at yourself as a leader. You're a trailblazer, right? Entrepreneurs embrace the unknown, right? So we start businesses not knowing certain things, but we embrace that unknown and we go out and we still push our business out there. And we do our best, right? So I think this is just another situation that tests your acumen as an entrepreneur and as a leader.
Right.
So don't be afraid to try something and fail. If you're failing, that means you're doing something, right?
Yeah. That's the word failures. The word failure is such BS.
Failing,
right?
Just
because you're not really
didn't hit, right? So that's what failing is. But if you're doing something, if you're going out there, now you know what didn't work. Right? This is a light bulb scenario here. Now you know that one thing didn't work. Now try something else. Go out there and try different things. Don't be afraid of the unknown. So when you're looking at this COVID situation, don't worry about it getting back to normal. What can you do right now? How can you embrace this right now? So look at other people in the industry. Maybe you need to join some sort of networking group within your industry to see what the other players are doing. And things like that, right? So you can look, say if I have a restaurant, let me look at someone like a big boy, like a Panera, like an XYZ, you have like Clean Eats and different things like that. Now I can go in and get my meals shipped to me from my favorite restaurant and go on my own keto or whatever diet is going to be the new fad one or whatever. And I can get those things that are nutritionally checked off by someone like, what's our friend? Jim White Fitness or something like that, right? So Jim has like, here's a Jim White approved.
Right. But that was an innovative way for him to market his business.
And so the restaurant could package it like, we're going to send you a Jim White Fitness meal box once a week, 3 times a week or whatever. So I know if I'm eating this meal box that has been approved by this super awesome, nutritionist, that I will pay for that, and it comes from my favorite restaurant and different things like that. So don't be afraid to think out. And if that doesn't work, we're going to scratch it and do something else, right?
Now's the time to try something new because there is no set standard yet. No one knows.
And that's the trailblazing. That's the entrepreneurial thing. And that's the exciting part, guys. It's like, let's not look at this as some like drudgery that we just need to truck through and, we're going through hell, so keep going, like don't look at it like that. Look at it as an opportunity. There's things that if something like this didn't happen, it wouldn't have pushed us out of our comfort zone. So don't be scared of it. Embrace it, learn the new technology, meet some new people that are maybe in a different state that are in the similar industry that's doing something that you're doing, and try it out. Don't be afraid to fail. Try it with the openness of learning something new. It's okay.
Preach.
Okay.
Pastor Deany in the hizzy today. What's interesting? I was going to say this comment, and then as I thought about it more, I realized it's probably ridiculous. But I've been surprised at how negative people have been around all this. It's like this is a great situation. This is a great opportunity, right? Like, what can you do? Like so many people, were hoping or praying or looking for more time with their family, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then here you got it, and people are like, never mind, this isn't what I want. It's like, well, hold on, like you got it. You got what you were looking for. Like,
so there's two parts to this, right? So we have to be sensitive to the health crisis because it is real and it's something that we need to take a somber look at, right? So there is that, take off your hat, stand still, observe that the world is not going in the place that we need it to go, and recognize that and be and have sensitivity around that. We're not talking about that specifically right now today. We're talking about the business side of it and what opportunities there are. So
trust me, Deany, I don't even want to touch a door anymore. I got a bag around my hand and I open up that door and I find the trash. Trust me, I'm paranoid about these things. I 100% get that. Yeah. But I don't think you can live your life in a fear just because something that is going on out there that you can control. Like, you can control missing a lot of these individuals in a lot of the cases we're talking about, right? And so if you're being cautious about those things, I think you can still go and spend time with your family at your house. You can go on walks around your neighborhood and not pass anyone, things like that. I do think that there are many scenarios where you can be very cautious and not just be a hermit.
Right. So we're saying be smart is what we're saying.
Of course.
Be smart. The situation is, be smart about everything that you do. We're entrepreneurs.
Hand sanitizer right here.
Yeah. So we're specifically talking about the business side to this and the silver linings or the opportunities that we need to embrace in order to move forward as a nation.
I mean, how many times have you seen that entrepreneurial roller coaster sign, right? Where people are like, oh, it's a straight line, but really it's
squiggly.
That's what we're going through.
Right.
And so it's very unfortunate on the health side of this. It's very unfortunate that the world is going through a pandemic, but I also think there are ways to look at this from a positive perspective. And I think we cannot neglect that positivity, because positivity it's a wonderful thing. Yeah. And I'm thirsty for positivity, Deany.
Yeah. Yes. And I don't know if I would say to look at it in a positive light. I would completely separate the two. There's nothing positive about a health crisis, right? So I would completely separate that. There's the health crisis. It completely sucks. It's horrible. And it's there, right? And we take a somber look at that. And then there's the business. There's the fact that we're forced into doing things virtually. The fact that we are now even more connected.
Don't you think we were going to go to those things anyway? Don't you think that a lot of this stuff was just accelerating 7 years? Like, I mean, if this would have happened 20 years ago, yeah, I think things are a little crazier. But, we have all this technology, for things to be rolling out like that. It's because we're going to go to it anyway, right? It's 7 to 10 years quicker.
Right. Yeah. If it had rolled out 20 years ago, no, we wouldn't be as prepared as we are now.
When you think about that, can you imagine, 20 years ago, I was in high school on dial-up, Facebook wasn't a thing yet. Now I can call my mom and see her.
Right. Right. Exactly.
That's a
computer in your pocket. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think that we have a unique opportunity here as people in business to embrace the technology. Yeah. And there's so many new things coming out every day, just vetting those things. I think that we do have some opportunities business-wise, and it's really neat that we get to start to explore some of these new age things now.